Mike Vrabel has agreed to become the New England Patriots' next head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the first domino in the coaching carousel has fallen. Mike Vrabel is not anymore a possibility for the New Orleans Saints or any other team that are not the Patriots. This one made too much sense. This one was pretty obvious. There were some wrinkles, like the Tom Brady involvement in Las Vegas. Some people thought, like, maybe him and Vrabel have a connection or a relationship. Maybe that sways him to go over there. But great hire for New England. It's exactly what they needed. Before and after Brady, New England has been horrible. The Tedy Maye signing was, laughable. He was in no way ready to be a head coach. He proved that the entire year. We heard story after story after story about how Mayo just wasn't a head coach, and he wasn't ready for it, and he was put into an impossible situation. Vrabel inherits, I don't want to say a team trending upwards, but certainly Drake Maye trending upwards. Out of all the rookie quarterbacks, Drake Maye had probably the most limited exposure, just as far as being in competitive games or even playing time or whatever, but he played pretty well. And I think there's a lot to be excited about with Drake Maye. So Vrabel gets a piece, gets a very high draft pick, and we'll see what they do with it. But overall, great hire for the Patriots.
Right now we have major breaking news just in. Adam Schefter, go.
All right, Greeny, the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel have reached agreement for him to become the next head coach of the New England Patriots. It's a multi-year agreement. He will take over, and he will come back to the franchise that he helped win 3 Super Bowls as a player. He now will become one of 7 players to help a team win a Super Bowl as a player and going to become the head coach of that franchise.
Not a great list. I'll tell you that. Tedy Maye was on that list. Jeff Saturday on that list. So doesn't always work out.
Ironically enough, Tedy Maye, also one of those people who did it, and now Vrabel will succeed Tedy Maye and take over a franchise that has lots of salary cap space, that has a quarterback in place, but the Patriots are looking to restore the franchise.
What you're going to hear a lot of, and I want to say this before they actually say it, is you're going to hear a lot of the Patriot way. You're going to hear a lot of restoring the Patriot way, restoring the framework for the franchise that was there. Now, in my opinion, the Patriot way is Tom Brady. There is no Patriot way without Tom Brady. We have seen that time and time again, where the more you look at it, the more it was, Tom Brady was the Patriot way. So it's going to be a blend. It's going to be the quote unquote Patriot way, and it's going to be Mike Vrabel's way. And what I've been saying, or why I liked Vrabel as a possibility for the Saints, was that he is a guy who has proven as a head coach that he can instill a culture and a vision and an identity. He is 10 games over 500 as a head coach. He has playoff success, including playoff success against the Patriots. So I liked Vrabel. I think he's a fantastic head coach, and I think with his relationship with Kraft, he'll be able to have the roster control that I think he wants, which I'm sure was a huge bonus for this. So I expect this to be pretty good overall for everyone.
You heard Tedy Bruschi yesterday call for the hiring of Mike Vrabel, and apparently Robert Kraft was listening. That deal is now done. There is an agreement, and he will be introduced this week as the next head coach of the New England Patriots.
Outstanding, Shefty. As always, Tedy, obviously you're the first one everyone wants to hear from. He was your longtime teammate. What's your reaction?
I'm excited. Vrabes is excited. We've been
maybe the greatest hairline in, Bruschi, get some rest, brother. But maybe the greatest hairline ever. Bruschi has, look at this. Like, he almost doesn't have a forehead because of how much hair. It's the most perfect box. It looks exactly like the goalie box in soccer. It's just the most perfectly straight hairline I've ever seen.
Been in communication. I think that he's the right man for the job, of course. He's a good friend of mine. Listen, firing Gerard after 1 year, it's been bad for the last 2 years with the New England Patriots organization. When they hired Gerard at the press conference, a big word that was used was collaboration. All right, a collaboration and everybody's input and all of this stuff. Well, I don't know how much it is that anymore. And I think that's a good thing, because Vrabel isn't going to joke around. Vrabel's going to tighten the screws. In my opinion, there are some people in the front office that need to be told, you don't know what you're doing, and you need to take a step back, because someone's coming into that
I can't tell if Bruschi is sick or if he's about to start crying. I mean, he sounds like he's wavering here.
Organization now that has conviction, that will let you collaborate. He'll work with people. Yeah, sure, he'll work with you. But I'm telling you, this guy's smarter than you are. And I'm telling you, he knows what to do in terms of, he has the experience from being a head coach before. He's been a coordinator before. He's been all over the league, has a lot of connections. I love the hire, okay? Of course, this guy's a friend of mine, like I said, but there's going to be a change. I'm a little bit surprised. That this happened, because, I mean, there are some people upstairs in the organization that want to be heard. And sometimes they're going to have to take a bite of humble pie and understand your opinion doesn't matter on this one, because there are people in the building that know more. And I hope that is what happens this time around, because the collaboration project did not work. And now I'm glad it's going to change a little bit to a coach that has more experience, and then they know what they're getting exactly with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. Successful tenure in Tennessee. He was the coach of the year in 2021. He's 49 years old, will be 50 when next season begins. Rex, what's your reaction?
Hey, man, I mean, hopefully I get to kick this guy's ass twice a year. I don't know what.
I mean, Rex Ryan, I'll give him this. Nobody is campaigning harder for anything than, I mean, Kamala Harris didn't campaign as hard as Rex Ryan is to be the head coach of the Jets. And I think it'd be insane if the Jets hired Rex Ryan. But I'm at this point, it's almost so heavy. I'm surprised someone at ESPN hasn't said, like, Rex, look, we get it. We know you want the job, but brother, you gotta reel it in. You gotta reel it in a little bit and do your job. I mean, huge hire, first domino in the postseason, or in the coaching carousel. New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, everything's there. The first thing Rex says is, I want to be the head coach of the Jets.
Just kidding,
them Jets, huh?
I'm just kidding, buddy.
Maybe your team.
Yeah, not my team, yes, but not me personally.
Mike Vrabel is a coach. Listen, I have had many people on Get Up say, let's just go over what he's got. They have a quarterback in place that people love, Drake Maye. I think people generally saw very positive things. Yeah. They have $130 million in cap space, and they have the 4th pick in the draft.
They can make some stuff happen. I mean, no doubt about it. They can make some stuff happen. They can move around with that 4th pick. 4th pick isn't exactly the greatest pick in the world, depending on what you want. I mean, they don't want a quarterback. So in reality, you could look at it that they have the 2nd pick, right? Now that's a little bit 8D chess, but they're not in the market for a quarterback, so they don't care about the 1st pick and the 2nd pick if it goes Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. All right, so 2nd pick in the draft, probably, I would think Travis Hunter goes, but if they could get a Travis Hunter, if they could get a Will Campbell, if they could get even an Abdul Carter, those are pretty good players for what they want to do. No doubt about it. And Drake Maye is something to be excited about. A lot of salary cap space. Vrabel does like roster management, so I'm sure he has a plan for that salary cap. So I would be surprised if we see a similar New England that we've seen the last couple of years.
No, absolutely. It looks like it's set up. Now they got their coach that they
got the coach
look
and the
as their long-term success guy, and we'll see. Look, you've got to have a marriage, a quarterback, face of the franchise, quarterback, head coach, front office. Now they figured they got it tied in the way they want it. We'll see what happens.
I think this is stabilizing, right? For an organization that's had a lot of turmoil the last 2 years. I mean, this guy's a bona fide good football coach. And I think there's something about coming in on your 2nd go-round, too, right? Yeah. This guy learned a lot in his first time being a head coach. It's a unique.
That's a good point, too. Like, there is something about it's very rare that you get a coach on his 2nd go-around who was successful. Most of the time, 2nd go-around is just a retread or a guy who below 500 or 500 or unsuccessful, like Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury was unsuccessful at Arizona. Okay? Depends on how you look at it, I guess. But I would say unsuccessful. It would be his 2nd go-around. Vrabel was successful. Vrabel has playoff wins. Vrabel has, again, 10 games over 500. Like, he got fired. He was coach of the year. He was there. He was successful. And the reason he got fired was because of some, I don't want to say infighting, but infighting with the front office. And so, he has a very rare 2nd opportunity where he's going to take all of what he learned and how he was successful and implement it, you would think, even better in this go-around with New England.
Unique position. I love this hire.
Well, I mean, the hire, let's face it, I mean, automatically he connects He's going to connect in that locker room. All right, he's been in that locker room. He's also going to connect with the fan base, and I think that's important. And,
for sure.
So to me, yes, it looks like an outstanding hire. No surprise that they went.
We know the two linebackers love it.
Yeah,
you know.
Of course. Fred,
it's way above my pay grade. Let me tell you that. These coaching hires and all that. I hope he does horrible. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Brave.
Hey man, Fred.
Yeah, no. Go ahead, Teddy.
What you said, all right, the $130 million in cap space, there are a lot of decisions that can be made. The possibilities of what you do with your own players, what you do with high-priced free agents, there's a lot of decisions to be made, and there's a lot of people that think they have the answers.
Especially when you got a quarterback.
There's a lot of people that think they have the answers. The one person that has to have the voice is that one, the head coach, that one right there on that picture, Mike Vrabel. Do they know that? That's what I'll be looking to see.
Well, listen, what you sound to me like you're describing would be the extraordinarily long and successful tenure of Bill Belichick in New England. And I think that the hiring of Jerod Mayo was viewed as a departure from that formula, from one person really being at the total apex of everything and having firm decision-making power over everything. It sounds to me like you're thinking this is a return to that.
First of all, let me say this. Jerod didn't get the chance to return to that, okay? He didn't get the chance.
He did get the chance. I mean, Jerod Mayo did get the chance. He failed spectacularly, and everything we've heard throughout is just examples of how he has failed spectacularly. It wasn't just the results. It was everything. It was everything about it. I mean, the fans had turned on him. Sounds like he was just. I mean, we heard stories about him on the plane. Like after losses, he would go hang out with the players instead of, doing with the coaches and breaking down film and whatever. Yeah, like he just wasn't there. He wasn't ready for it. Now, was he put in a situation he wasn't ready for? Yes, but he did get a chance and failed at it.
He didn't get that second year with all of those great things that this organization has with the cap space, the players, and the quarterback, okay? Vrabel is not Bill. I'll tell you that right now, all right? He is somewhere along that spectrum in between. I really believe that. If I were to compare Vrabel to any coaches that I've had in the past, and I played for some great ones, I would say he's more Bill Parcells-like than Bill Belichick because of the way that he can talk to players more on an even keel personal level. Okay, that's what I like about Vrabel. And I'm saying, and I'm talking about all the decision makers hoping they defer, but I think Vrabel has it in him to collaborate to a point. To a point.
Well, I think that's the whole thing. Is it going to be a dictatorship or partnership?
Yep.
That's what we're going to find out.
And I think it's okay when it's a little bit of both. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think sometimes it has to be because you're dealing with not a business. This is not a business. Okay, sure, I know the NFL's a business and there's a lot of money. But when it comes down to it, you're dealing with football players. And we are different than a lot of other people on the planet in terms of personality, mental toughness, our determination, our conviction, all of that stuff. Sometimes, like this guy,
being able to connect with the players. That's ideal.
All right, Bruschi, go take a nap. Geez, I'm surprised he made it through that segment. Overall, I mean, I love the hire, obviously, but for the Saints and for every other team, now it's a race to, okay, the first domino has fallen. Now it's a race to the second domino, which has been Johnson. They're going to have to wait until post-Super Bowl, hopefully, for the Lions, for anyone holding the Lions futures ticket like your boy, 12-1. But they're going to wait post-Super Bowl, and then Ben Johnson will be the next big one. It's going to be an absolute arms race. Vrabel going gives Johnson even more leverage because once you get past them, right now, like every team wants Ben Johnson, right? Like we've heard the Raiders, we've heard the Jaguars, we've heard the Bears. He can only go to one of them. So when he leaves, there's like 8 different coaching jobs that are open. Once Johnson makes his decision, Vrabel's already made his decision. There's going to be a race to a lot of these coaches. So it's going to be interesting. It's heating up. We can take Mike Vrabel off of the Saints possibility list. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will see you in the next video.